You can begin as you wish. Seated on your back in child's pose, standing if you like, but we want to come into our bodies and just take a moment to move away from the external world, connect with the internal space, connect with the body, right? And we just begin to use our breath to kind of calm our minds down, calm our bodies down, and just come into the moment. So you might close your eyes if you like. You might take a few moments to settle in, get comfortable. And once you're comfortable, notice if you're holding any contraction that's unnecessary. Usually it's in the jaw, the neck, or the shoulders. Maybe in the face, maybe in the belly or the heart space. Sometimes we hold some energetic tension here. So just maybe releasing that. And then breathing in through the nose and breathing out through the nose. And finding a rhythm to begin with, right? Inhaling slowly, exhaling more slowly. Yeah, I see a few of you guys adjusting. Cliff will mute us all if we haven't done that already, but yeah, once we get started, we'll mute everybody. But yeah, so once you're settled in, right, breath. Use your breath in through your nose, out through your nose, right? Finding a rhythm, right? And this rhythm is calming for our bodies and our minds, just this rhythm, right? But then as we slow the rhythm of the exhalation down, we tap into nervous system. We kind of tell the body to chill, to calm, to relax. We stop our stress responses. We move out of fight or flight, and we kind of move ourselves into that rest, digest, repair state. And so just a few more moments here, in through your nose, out through your nose, a little longer, a little bit slower. And you might add in your ujjayi breath, right? That little constriction in the back of the throat. It makes a soft C sound when you breathe in and out, but more importantly, it stimulates the vagus nerve, right? Calming, again, the nervous system and bringing things back to balance. So maybe another breath or two where you are. And then we'll make our way into table. So coming to hands and knees. Okay, we'll begin with some cat-cow movements, or any variation of these that you would prefer. Right, so we're grounded in the hands, right, wrists underneath the shoulders, knees under hips. As you inhale, we lower through the belly, lift the head and tailbone up. And then exhale, tuck your tailbone, tuck your chin, press down through the hands, lift through the back. Again, we repeat that, breathing in as we arch, breathing out as you tuck and round. Again, we'll do maybe 3 or 4, maybe 5 more breaths here, and you're welcome to stay with this movement, or again, any variations. You might like more of a child's pose as you exhale, or you might like some circles in your movements, right? But maybe another 2, 3 more rounds of breath. You might even close your eyes in this time and directing your attention, your awareness, again, away from the mind and just into the body, right? Connecting with body and calming the mind. Right, so maybe one more breath, and then we'll settle into a child's pose, just for a few moments of stillness. Right, but first you might make some adjustments to make it more comfortable so that you can settle in. Maybe once you're settled, again, you might close your eyes, relax your neck, your shoulders, your jaw, relax into maybe the heart space or the belly or the back. Right, and then again, we focus, we bring our attention back into body, and we feel. What can you feel as you breathe in? What can you feel as you breathe out? And again, this is a mental practice, this concentration and bringing our awareness back. Right, so another breath or so where you are. And then we'll come up into table as you inhale, and downward dog as you exhale. And we'll take several breaths in downward dog. Again, still cultivating that mind-body connection as we stretch and open up into new areas. We feel more and we connect with it more. And in the process of bringing our awareness into our bodies, we take our attention, our awareness away from the mind, and the mind begins to settle. Everything settles. So last round or breath in your downward dog. And then we'll get into some movement. So with your inhale, shift forward into your planks. And then as you exhale, come back to your downward dogs. And we'll do this a few more times. So as you breathe in, we come forward into plank, and your shoulders may come over your fingertips. As you exhale, lift your hips up and back for downward dog. One more time, breathing in as you come forward, and then exhaling as you shift back. Good. This time, we'll inhale forward into plank, and then pause here as you exhale. Take 2 more breaths. Breathe in, breathe out more slowly. Good. Last breath in here. And then we'll lower down with the exhale. Either cobra or upward dog as you inhale. Lift your head and shoulders up. And then downward dog as you exhale. And you will take one full breath here. In, maybe a cleansing breath out. Good. Last breath in, and when feet to the top of your mat as you exhale, you can step or hop to your standing forward fold. Lift up halfway as you breathe in. Exhale as you fold. Come to stand as you inhale, reaching your arms up. Hands to your heart as you exhale. Good. We'll keep moving. Breathing in, reach arms overhead. Forward fold as you exhale. Halfway lift. Breathe in. Hands to your mat as you breathe out. Plank as you inhale, you can step or hop. And then lower down as you exhale. Cobra or upward dog as you breathe in. Downward dog as you breathe out. Good. We'll do 2 full breaths in, 2 full breaths out here. Good. One more breath in, full breath out. And then bring your knees to the mat as you inhale. And just settle into a child's pose again as you exhale. Right, so this momentum of our minds, we need to practice reining back into our bodies, right? So again, we feel into our hands, we feel into our shoulders, we feel our heartbeat, and then breath. Breath is a tool that's always there. We practice breathing in full and deep. We practice breathing out slowly, right? A little bit more slowly than your inhale, but smoothly is key as well. So you might notice some gasping or some shakiness in the breath, and we try to steady that out, so we refine the breath. Good, so last breath here in your child's pose. Good, and then we'll come back up into table, breathing in. And then downward dog as you breathe out. And we'll just take a full round of breath here in our downward dogs. And with your next in-breath, we'll lift the right foot up towards the sky. And then bend the knee and stack the hips as you exhale. Take one breath in here. One breath out here. And then 3-legged dog with your inhale. We'll do 1 cheetah with the exhale. So round and tuck like the cat. Again, 3-legged dog. As you inhale, we'll step to the top of the mat with the exhale. Let's find a crescent as you breathe in. Steady here as you breathe out. Just opening up hips, awakening balance, right? Breathing. Good. And then from here, we'll take a breath in and open up into your warrior 2 as you exhale. Again, we'll straighten the leg, lift both arms overhead as you inhale. Come back to your warrior 2 as you exhale. We'll do that 2 more times. And you might close your eyes throughout this. Come into the body, notice what you feel. You inhale, you rise up. Exhale, warrior 2. We're opening hips, reaching fingers away from each other. Last breath in as you rise up. And then warrior 2 as you exhale. This time we'll pause here. Right? 1 breath in, 1 breath out. And then reverse warrior as you inhale. Stay here as you exhale. 1 more breath in. And then side angle as you breathe out. We'll stay here. 1 breath in. 1 breath out, and then reverse warrior as you inhale. Let's windmill the hands to the mat with the exhale, and then you can take several breaths to do whatever you like. You might flow back to your downward dog. You might go straight back to a child's pose and rest. You might be strengthening. You might be finding stillness and resting, right? But just maybe we usually take a good 5 or so breaths between sides or between things, and just this time to do as you wish. Introspection is really important here, right? Noticing what you feel in the body, and again, refining the breath. Right? And then after those breaths, we'll meet back in our downward dogs. We'll again take a moment to feel into your hands, your arms, feet, your legs, again pulling awareness into the body. And then we'll lift the left foot up towards the sky, breathing in. Bend the knee and stack the hips as you breathe out. It's a breath in here, 1 breath out here. 3-legged dog with your inhale. 1 cheetah as you exhale, round and tuck. 3-legged dog, breathe in. Step to the top of the mat as you breathe out. Find your crescent with your inhale. Steady here as you exhale. Another breath or 2. Again, we're opening up through the front of the hips, the hip flexors, the abs, but also awakening balance. We'll open up to warrior 2 next. Okay, so 3 times. As you inhale, we straighten the leg, lift both arms up to the sky. And as you exhale, we'll bend the knee, bring the hands back to shoulder height. So left toes face forward, right toes face the side. We'll breathe in, straighten both legs, lift the arms up. Exhale, bend the left knee, hands come to shoulder height. 1 more time. Slow breath in, slow breath out. Good, and then pause here for a breath. With your next inhale, it's reverse warrior. So left hand to the sky as you inhale. Stay here as you exhale. It's one more in breath. And then side angle as you breathe out. And just one breath in here, one breath out here. And then reverse warrior as you inhale. Windmill the hands to the mat with your exhale. And then again, a couple breaths to do whatever you would like. You might stretch, you might strengthen, you might find movement, you might find stillness. But come back into body and come back to breath. And sometimes cleansing breaths with an open mouth exhale are nice, but breathe in deep and full after that. And then once you're ready, we'll meet back in our downward dogs. From your downward dog, we'll lift the right foot to the sky with an inhale. Bend the knee and stack the hips as you exhale. Just one breath in, one breath out. Three-legged dog as you inhale. One cheetah, exhale, round and tuck as you come forward. Three-legged dog. Breathe in. Step to the top of your mat as you exhale. We'll find crescent with the in-breath. Again, stay here as you breathe out. Let's stretch the shoulders a bit. So take your hands behind the back. You can interlace the fingers if you like, or reach for your elbows. Maybe you want to open up through the chest, through the shoulders. You might, if you like, bring in a little bit of a back bend, a heart opener. I can't balance on the carpet. I'm having trouble. Right, but from here, release the hands. Reach your arms overhead as you inhale. And then bring your left hand down to the ground as you exhale. Right hand to the sky. So twisting, opening, breathing, right? Good. One more breath, and then we'll move into a side plank, right? So you can try to lift the foot up and step it back. You're welcome to take a hand or a knee down. Try for 2 breaths in your side plank. Slow breaths in, slower, smoother breaths out. Good. Last inhale. Both hands down as you exhale. Breathe in here. Lower down as you breathe out. I guess you can choose. You don't have to do this. Right? You can flow if you like. Right? Or you can rest, or you can stretch, or you can strengthen. You can find stillness, you can find movement, right? Breathe, right? Again, breath is so important. As we learn to kind of come into our bodies and refine the breath, we're actually kind of doing mental and emotional stuff too, whether we realize it or not. So try to refine the breath, make it steady, make it slow. And then we meet in our downward dogs. And once we're there, then we take a moment, be active in your hands, right? And active in your arms yet. We relax our neck, we soften the face, we soften the jaw. And as you inhale, reach the left foot to the sky. Bend the knee and stack the hips as you exhale. Slow breath in, slower breath out. Three-legged dog as you inhale. One cheetah, exhale, round and tuck. Three-legged dog, breathe in. Step to the top of the mat with your exhale. We'll find crescent again, breathing in. Steadying here as we breathe out. Again, a shoulder stretch. Hands will come behind the back. Again, you can interlace fingers or you can reach for the elbows, but we want to open up through the heart, through the chest space. Option to lift the chin if you like. Again, challenges balance. Really tricky. Good, and then when you're ready, you can come into a regular crescent. So release your hands, sweep your arms overhead, and then your right hand will come down to the ground as you exhale. Reach the left hand up to the sky. So twisting, opening hips, opening heart. Last breath in, and then your side plank as you breathe out. So try for 2 breaths in, 2 slower breaths out. One more breath in, and then regular plank as you exhale. You can inhale here, and then you can do whatever you want. Right? You can flow if you like. You can just rest. You can stretch, strengthen, move, be still. Maybe you keep your eyes closed the whole time and you just kind of keep your awareness in the body, knowing, again, this is such important mental work. So maybe another 2 breaths. Those cleansing breaths help if you feel a little out of breath or frustrated even sometimes. And then we meet in our downward dogs. And then from our downward dogs, we'll lift the right foot to the sky with an inhale. Bend the knee, stack the hips as you exhale. Full breath in, slower breath out. Three-legged dog as you inhale. One cheetah, exhale, round and tuck. Three-legged dog, breathe in. Step to the top of your mat as you exhale. We'll find crescent again with our inhale. Excuse me, steady here with your exhale. We're going to move into a warrior three in a moment. You have the option for a challenge if you want to bind your hands behind your back and then take your warrior three, or you can take any arm variation you like. Right, but from your crescent, you'll shift the weight into your right foot, lift the back leg, keep lifting up through the heart, and then we're going to move up into a stork. So lift your heart, lift your knee. If you have your hands bound, you can release the hands, lift them overhead. Good, and then we'll practice an eagle. So take your left knee, cross it over the right knee, and it helps to bend into your standing leg. And then it's your right arm on top of the left arm, right, crossing the elbows. Try to breathe, steady your breath wherever you are. Good, and then from your eagle, we'll unwind. So come back up into your stork. Take a breath in, and then move through warrior three as you exhale. Take an inhale, and then step back to your crescent as you exhale. Nice, deep breath in here. And then left hand comes down to the ground as you exhale. Right hand reaches up to the sky for our twist. Full round of breath here, and we're going to move into side plank again in a moment. Option to take any leg variation or any bind or anything for your side plank. So binding, right, you can take your peace fingers to your toes, you can lift your foot, that's really hard, you can take a tree leg, you can try to extend the top leg, you can take the bottom leg down as well, right? Right, last breath in your side plank variation, and then regular plank as you breathe out. Try to take an inhale there, and then you can do whatever you like from there. You can flow, rest, stretch, your choice, but notice what happens in body, notice what happens in mind, and can you balance and refine the breath? Right, that's most important here. Nice, maybe 2 more breaths. And then we return to downward dog. And once you're there, take a moment to be there. Right? Sometimes the mind is already moving to the future or back to the past, but we try to ground ourselves here, feeling into the hands, the feet, the arms, the legs. And with your next in-breath, we'll lift the left foot to the sky, bend the knee and stack the hips as you exhale. Full breath in, full breath out. And then 3-legged dog as you inhale. 1 cheetah, exhale, round, tuck the chin, shoulders over fingertips. 3-legged dog as you inhale. Step to the top of the mat with your exhale. Find your crescent as you breathe in, and then steady here as you breathe out. So your choice, you can interlace the arms or not. You can do any arm variation. But we'll move into our warrior three from here. So weight shifts forward into the left foot. We lift the back leg as well as the chest, the heart. And we're breathing in our warrior threes. Last in-breath, and then lift up to your stork as you exhale. You can leave the hands bound or not. Good, and then release your hands, arms rise, and we'll come into eagle, crossing the right knee over the left, and then your left arm on top of the right arm. Try to steady your breath in slowly, out smoothly and more slowly. Right, 1 more breath in your eagle, and then we'll come back to stork, so you can unwind, take a breath in, move through your warrior three as you breathe out. Take an inhale, step back to your crescent as you exhale. Breathe in here, and then right hand comes down to the ground as you breathe out. Left hand opens up to the sky for our twist. And then again, same thing. You can take any leg variation for your half or your side plank. Right? So if you want to take a bind with the peace fingers to the big toes, you want to take tree legs or lift a leg or lower a leg. Try for 1 more breath in there. And then regular plank as you breathe out. Take an inhale, and then you're free to do whatever you like as you exhale. Nice. Awesome, guys. I see you at home. You're doing great. Okay. Several breaths, maybe those cleansing breaths. Okay. Maybe again, you need some movement to help some energy move. Maybe you need stillness, allow some energy to settle. Okay. But come back to what you need. Good, and then we'll meet in our downward dogs once again. And then from our downward dogs, I'm going to take a moment to be here. Right? Use your practice, your tools, the body and the breath to bring you back to here. And then from here. We'll lift the right foot to the sky with an inhale. Bend the knee and stack the hips with your exhale. Slow breath in, slower breath out. Three-legged dog, inhale. One cheetah, exhale, round and tuck, shoulders over fingertips. Three-legged dog as you inhale. Step to the top of your mat as you exhale. Crescent again, breathing in. Steadying here as you breathe out. So this will be our last time through this part of the flow. So again, your choice if you want to bind your hands behind the back into the warrior three or not. So totally up to you. But we'll come into our warrior three, shifting the weight into the right foot and then lifting the back leg. Keep lifting through heart. Keep breathing. Last in-breath, and then we'll lift up to stork with the exhale. And if the hands are bound, release them. Lift your arms up. Breathe in, and then eagle as you breathe out. Left knee over right. Right arm on top of left arm. You can work a regular eagle. Some of you like your nesting eagles for the added challenge. Right, hunkering down as you bend your knees, sink the elbows down towards the knees. Right, last breath in whatever eagle variation you would like. And then we'll meet in a stork. So unwind, inhale as you lift the knee up. Move through your warrior three as you exhale. Take a breath in, step back to your crescent as you breathe out. Again, inhale here, left hand down as you exhale, right hand to the sky. Again, one full breath. Again, our last time for this side plank variation. And again, you can choose what you do with your legs. You might challenge yourself. You might take it easy on yourself. Right, wherever you are, try to breathe. Last breath in. And then regular plank as you breathe out. Take an inhale. And then your choice what you do after that. Right, several breaths. Maybe you cleansing breath. Good. Nice. Maybe last breath where you are, and again, downward dog. We'll go through this side, and we'll get into some other things, but sometimes not knowing is good, sometimes knowing is good, so letting you know what's coming. Hands are grounded, neck is relaxed, shoulders, heart open, hips reaching towards the sky, and then the left foot reaches to the sky as you inhale. Bend your knee and stack the hips as you exhale. Take a breath in here, a breath out here. Three-legged dog, inhale. One cheetah, exhale, round and tuck. Three-legged dog, breathe in. Step to the top of the mat as you breathe out. Crescent as you inhale. Steady here as you exhale. And if you would like the hands bound or not, you can choose. But we'll move into our warrior threes next. So weight shifts forward as you breathe in. We lift the back leg, breathing out. Try for maybe 2 breaths in your warrior three. And then you rise up to stork with an exhale. So breathe out as you lift your heart, lift your knee. If your hands are bound, you can release them as you inhale. And then eagle as you exhale. The knees cross, and it's the left arm on top of the right arm. And you can stay in your regular eagle, or you can work on your nesting eagle. Again, breath is most important. Try to steady the breath. Good. Last breath in your eagle. And then we can all move through stork as you breathe in. Move through your warrior three as you breathe out. Take a breath in. And then crescent as you breathe out. Good. It's an inhale here. Right hand down to the ground as you exhale. Left hand to the sky. Breathing in. Slow breath out here. And then last time, again for the side plank variation, you can take any variation that you like. Try to breathe. Last in breath. Regular plank as you breathe out. Inhale there. Lower down as you exhale. Deep breath in, lifting your heart up. And then back to your downward dog. I'm sorry, you guys didn't have to do that. I cued it, but you didn't have to. Hopefully those of you that didn't want to tuned me out. I put several breaths to do whatever you like. Nice. Good. So, maybe a round or 2 more of breath. And then we'll meet in our downward dogs. And from our downward dogs, again, take a moment to be there. Feel your hands, your feet, your arms, your legs, your core, your face, your front, your back, your insides. And then it's a breath in, feet to the top of the mat as you exhale. Halfway lift as you breathe in. Exhale as you fold, and we'll spend a few breaths in our forward fold. So you can take an arm bind if you like. You can take no bind if you like. But make sure that your neck is relaxed and you're lengthening through the back line of the whole body. So if we hold contraction in our necks, we're not going to be able to stretch and release some of the tension that's held in our backs and our necks. So last breath in your fold. And then we'll roll up to stand nice and slowly. So you might bend your knees a lot or a little. Leave your arms hang. Leave your chin tucked as you round up nice and slow. And then once you're at the top, just take a moment, feel into your body, notice what you feel. Good. We'll do a half salutation. As you inhale, lift your arms overhead. Forward fold as you exhale. Halfway lift, breathing in. Exhale as you fold. Come to stand, inhaling arms all the way up. Hands to your heart as you exhale. Good, nice deep breath here. Good, feeling a little bit more shoulder stuff. So hands come behind the back. Again, I'll turn to face you, but your hands will come behind the back. Interlace fingers or reach for your elbows. Right, but we want to take an inhale. As you exhale, you'll turn your head to the right and then lean to the right. And this should stretch into your left neck, collarbone, shoulder space. And take another full breath here. And then as you inhale, you can come back through center. And as you exhale, you'll turn your head to the other side and lean to the other side. So that whatever side you're leaning to, it's the opposite side that's stretching. Right? You can turn the chin down more. Maybe you might feel it's better. Good. And then with your next in-breath, we'll come back through center. And then forward fold as you exhale. You can bend your knees maybe more than what you normally do, allowing the hands to lift up off the lower back. Then relax your neck. And just one more breath here. And then you can release your hands, bring them down by your feet or your ankles. And one more time, we'll roll up to stand very, 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 very slowly. Very stretch all the way up your spine as you come up slowly. Good, and then once you're at the top, just a moment to feel into your body. Again, noticing what you can feel here. Next breath in, lift your arms overhead. Forward fold as you exhale. Halfway lift, breathing in. Hands to your mat as you breathe out. Plank with your inhale. Lower down all the way as you exhale. And we'll do again a few more shoulder stretches. So right hand comes out shoulder height. Palm faces down, and then you'll roll to that right side. So you can adjust the left side if you want to bend the knee or adjust your left arm. Try to relax your head down so you're not lifting the head up and tensing in the neck. And again, breathe here. Deep inhales, and then slower exhales. And we want the exhale to be smooth, right? So not kind of choppy or gaspy. Good, and then when you're finished, you can come back to center. Take a moment for yourself in the center. You may find stillness. You might find a little movement. Okay, put awareness in the body. And then we'll switch sides. So taking your left arm out to your shoulder height, palm facing down. Right hand comes under your right shoulder to press into it so you can roll to the side. Then you can adjust your right leg or right arm, whatever feels best. Relax your head, relax your jaw. Move the breath slowly and smoothly. Last breath here, and then we can come back to center. Again, a moment or two for yourself in the center. And do a little bit of back strengthening before we move on. So forehead comes to the ground, and we'll do our locust pose, bringing the hands back behind you. Again, you can interlace fingers, or you can leave the fingers interlaced, but have your palms face each other. As you inhale, we'll lift the head and shoulders up. And as you exhale, we'll lower the forehead back down. So 2 more times, really strengthening the back. Right, inhaling up, and then exhaling down. Last one, breathing in, lifting up. Exhale as you lower down, and then release everything down. You can Make a pillow with your hands if you like, or maybe you just extend your arms out, but get a moment, feel your heartbeat, and feel the warmth maybe in your body. Notice how your mind, what story might be in your mind, and come back to breath. We're going to do one more locust pose. This time, some of you, we're going to come up and lift, and we're going to stay up. Some of you may prefer a bow. I know we didn't do a whole lot, but you can do a bow instead where you grab your ankles. But otherwise, we'll inhale and we'll lift the head and shoulders up as well as the feet. And then stay lifted with your exhale. Right? Keep breathing. Again, 2 or 3 more breaths. You have the option for bow as well as you like. Right? Another slow breath in. Slow breath out. Good. Last inhale. You can release down as you exhale and then counter however you like. You may press back into a child's pose. You might come into some cat-cow breaths. Or you might want to flow, or again, just some mindful or somatic movement. But we'll move on from the belly after that. So you can take a few moments to do as you wish. And then we'll meet back in our downward dogs. And after you're ready, we'll meet in downward dog. We take a moment to get grounded, hands, feel into your feet, your arms, your legs. Like these are checklists. Where do we check in when the mind is racing? What do? We come into body. We feel into the hands, we feel into the feet. We slow the breath, relax the jaw. And this is our practice. So from here, we'll breathe in. Bring your feet to the top of your mat as you exhale. Halfway lift as you inhale. Exhale as you fold. Come to stand, inhaling arms all the way up. Hands to your heart as you exhale. Good. One deep breath here. Good. Both arms overhead as you inhale. Forward fold as you exhale. Halfway lift. Breathe in. Hands to your mat as you breathe out. Plank with your inhale. Lower down as you exhale. Cobra or upward dog as you breathe in, and then stay here as you breathe out. Try for 2 more breaths. Right? If you're in your cobra, your hips are down. If you're in your upward dog, the arms are straight. The hips and the kneecaps are lifted. Right? Last breath in, and then you can counter as you like. In your choice, if you would like a child's pose or some cat-cow breaths or your downward dog. Right? But doing a lot of heart opening, hip flexor stuff, so you can counter maybe some of the seating, all this I can't talk. How much we've been seated recently. Maybe for some of us. So, downward dog, when you're ready to move on, we'll get into some hip stretches. So when you're ready, it's your right foot to the sky as you inhale. Again, bend the knee and stack the hips as you exhale. We'll come back to our 3-legged dog, breathing in. And 1 cheetah, just for the fun of it. Exhale, round and tuck. 3-legged dog as you inhale. We'll come and step to the top of the mat with the exhale for a low lunge. Back knee will come down. Back knee will come down. You can have your toes tucked or untucked. Hands can come up if you like. We were doing a lot of shoulder openers, heart openers. Some of you may work on interlacing the hands behind the back, lifting the chin, maybe reaching the pointer fingers towards the ground. Your choice, but hips are important. You can add the upper body stuff if you like. Right, so 2 or 3 more breaths. Yeah, arms overhead is another option. Hands to the knee, hands to the ground, any of it. Right, but breathe, right, slow, steady breaths. Good, maybe 1 more round of breath. And then we'll bring our hands down. Take a moment here. I'm going to make some circles. So I know some of you may not have props, but I'm going to ground into the hands. And then just kind of as if you're drawing a circle with your hips. So you'll kind of come up out of the lunge and then circle around. Right? So just go in one direction. If it doesn't feel right in your knees or your hips, you don't have to do it. But then if you like it, you can try it in the other direction. And just getting a little bit more range of motion in the hips here. Really, really good and healthy for your hips. Nice. And then we'll get into hamstrings again. So you can come back to center, shift your weight backwards, stretching the right leg out. Then we want to try to fold from the hips, relax into the upper back, the neck, the jaw space. And again, most importantly is the breath. Right? Breathe in, full and slow. Breathe out more slowly. Maybe bringing back your Ujjayi breath if you forgot about it. Maybe relaxing some contraction that might be unnecessary. Good, last breath here. And then we'll shift our weight forward. Take several breaths for yourself. You can come out. We'll be switching sides next, so you may find a little movement, a counter stretch, maybe stillness. Good, and then we switch sides when you're ready. So you're meeting back in your downward dog and taking a moment to, again, ground yourself here. What can you use to bring yourself into the present? And that's the body, right? Feel the hands, the legs, right? Use your breath. And then it's your left foot to the sky as you inhale. Bend the knee and stack the hips with the exhale. Breathe in, three-legged dog. One more cheetah. Exhale, round and tuck. Three-legged dog as you inhale. We'll step to the top of the mat with the exhale. And then back knee lowers. You can leave your toes tucked or untucked. Again, focus is hips in our lunge. You can choose what you do with your hands. Leave them down, bring them up, bring them overhead. And we did a lot of shoulder, heart opening stuff earlier, so maybe you continue that here. Right, but breathe, right? Breath is most important. Inhale slowly. Exhale more slowly. Good. Last breath there. And then you can come out of this. And again, you may or may not like this part, but it's a little bit of circle. So you can kind of circle in one direction. You kind of lift the hips out of the stretch and take them off to the side. Come into the lunge, right? So just a few circles. And you might rotate in the opposite direction. This works both hips, right? So feel into each of them, feeling what happens as you make your circles. Good, and then we'll get into hamstrings. So we'll come back to center, shift your weight backwards, stretching the left leg out, right, folding from your hips. Relax, again, the upper neck, shoulder, jaw space, and breathe. Steady, slow breaths. Nice. And maybe another breath or two here. And then, again, you can lift your heart up, shift your weight forward, take a few moments for yourself, maybe some movement, stillness, counter stretch, whatever feels good. Good, so a little bit more hip stuff. The next thing we're going to do, and I'm going to give you some options, is either a wide leg child's pose, where you just take the big toes together, knees come wider, forehead comes down. What we want to do is open up inner thighs and hips, so that's an option. You can come in more towards like a tadpole where you kind of shift forward. You can also come into a frog. I know some of you, Allie, at home like frogs, so any of those, I know Martin's freaking out. You don't have to do frog, Martin. He's requested before in class, no frog. But for those of you that like it, you're welcome to add it in here. We'll take a good 4 or so breaths in any of these hip opening variations. Same practice, try to release the contraction that builds up, right, and use the breath to kind of calm everything down, right, slower, longer exhales, but still those deep, full breaths in. Good, last round of breath. And then you're free to do whatever you want. Frog's tricky to get out of. You might scoot forward. But again, several breaths to do as you wish. We'll be meeting in a seated posture next. So take your time getting there. It's been a while since I've done frog. Alright, so once you're ready, seated posture. And we'll just do a seated forward fold just to kind of come back to symmetry. So you can stretch your legs out. Maybe give them a little tap. We'll sit up tall, breathing in, and then fold forward as you exhale. We'll take a good 3 or 4 breaths. Again, same practice of relaxing into the upper neck, shoulder, jaw space. And you might reach your hands towards the body and get a little bit of leverage. Something I've been adding in, I'm pretty flexible this way, but crossing my hands in my fold gets really nicely into different parts of my back that I was avoiding possibly. So you can try a breath or two with one cross and then the other arm uncross. And so maybe Get a round or so more of breath. And then when you're ready, you can slowly lift back up out of your stretch. Take a few moments for yourself. And you can have your eyes closed if you like. Feel the energy in your body. We're going to do a seated twist, taking your right ankle and crossing it over the left knee or leg. You can have your left leg straight or bent. That's up to you. But we'll sit up tall, breathing in, and then twist to the right as you exhale. You can take your left arm around the leg or in front of it if you like. And maybe you turn your chin or take that right shoulder back a bit more. Right, same practice though. Slow, steady, smooth breath. Good. And then when you're ready, you can come out of your twist. Take a few moments for yourself. You can find stillness, take a little movement if you like, either or both. And then we'll switch sides. So it's your left ankle over the right leg. Right leg can be straight or bent. Right, again, we want to sit up tall, breathe in, and then twist to your left as you breathe out. Couple slow breaths in. Yeah, so twist towards the bent leg. Slower breaths out. Right, one more breath here. And then we'll come back through center, inhaling. Get a few moments for yourself. Good. We'll be coming to our backs next. So you can come to your back. Maybe you have your knees to your chest. And you can maybe take a little bit of rocking where you rock side to side or make circles with your knees. And you might have your eyes closed as you're doing this. And everything I say is a suggestion though, so you do your practice. But we'll come back to center. And then lower your hands and feet down to the ground. I'm going to do just, I'm going to do a Supta Baddha Konasana. That's what I want. So toes of the feet come together. Still inner thighs and hip work. You can add in shoulder or chest work if you want to take your arms above the waist, right, or above the shoulders if you like. Any arm variation that feels best. But again, come back into body, come back into breath. Okay, last breath here. And then we can come out of this in a moment or two for yourself. You may find stillness. You might come back to a little bit of movement. Good. Knees come to chest. Do a little bit of work to stretch the hamstrings and the back. But since the back is supported, right, it makes the back flat and stretches things differently. So with your in-breath, we extend the legs towards the sky, arms overhead. And as you exhale, we bend the knees, tuck the hands, or knees to the chest, hands down by the hips. And as you breathe in again, we take the feet towards the sky, arms overhead, and then exhale, knees to chest, arms to the side. The last one like that. Inhale as you open, exhaling as you tuck. Good, and then relax your hands and feet down to the ground and just take a breath there. You might have some tingling in your toes or some sensations in your legs or your arms or your back maybe. Good, and then let's bring the right knee into the chest. And just give it a squeeze. Take your hands to your knee or your shin. Good, and then we'll extend the left leg out along the mat. Right, so full breath here, opening maybe into the front of the left hip, maybe the right hip. Back and spine are grounded. Good, and then let's inhale and we'll just extend that right leg up towards the sky. You might feel a stretch in the hamstrings. And then exhale, bend the knee and just bring it back into the chest. So your hands can go wherever is comfortable. But as you inhale, we'll extend the leg and then exhale as you tuck. Good. This time we'll inhale, extend the leg, and then leave it extended as you exhale. And you might give it a little pull, kind of pulling the leg. So if you had a strap at home, this would kind of be like our strap work, but we're just using our hands on our legs here. So you can hold behind the thigh or the knee or the calf, wherever feels best. Some of you might even reach your peace fingers up to your big toes and hold there, right? But that's optional. Try to breathe. Let's do one more breath here. Good, and then we'll allow that right leg to open out to the right. And again, you can adjust your hand. You might take it into the inner thigh or under the leg. Again, we're just kind of using the right hand to the leg for a little bit of support so it doesn't kind of fall away completely. Left side relaxes, face, jaw, everything relaxes. Breath continues to move, slow, steady rhythm. Good. And then we'll come back to center. And we'll bend the knee. Right? Bring the knee into the chest. Take a breath here. And we'll come into a twist in a moment. So you'll take your opposite hand to the knee, so left hand to the knee. Right arm will open up to your right side, shoulder height. And then we'll guide the knee over to the left for our twist. Good, and then breathe, right? It's really difficult, but consciously move your breath in, feel your body stretch and expand. Consciously move the breath out slowly, more slowly than your inhale. And then see if you can, again, relax your face, your jaw, maybe the feet or the toes or the hands. Okay, last breath here. And then you can come out. And then several breaths for yourself. We'll switch sides in a moment, but then you might find some movement, right? You might find stillness. Good. And then we'll ground that right foot. Bring your left knee into your chest. And then hand to the knee or the shin. And then we'll slide that right leg out along the mat. So you might feel a little bit of stretch into the front of the right hip. Maybe not. You can kind of activate pulling the knee in. And then we'll get into hamstrings a bit. So you can release your hands, and as you inhale, you'll extend that left leg up towards the sky. And as you exhale, you can just bend the knee, come out of the hamstring stretch. Right? And as you inhale, extend the leg, press the heel towards the sky, and then exhale as you relax out of it. And then this time we'll come into it and stay in it. So you inhale, extend the leg, and then as you exhale, you might grab onto it, kind of pull it in a bit. Yeah. Yeah, I see some of you got straps at home. I didn't think about telling you that ahead of time. But another breath or two here. Again, relaxing maybe the upper body again, the shoulders, the jaw, the neck. Good. And then after your next breath, we'll open the leg out to the left. So again, you might hold on to the under the leg or over top of the leg. Maybe we just want to allow it to kind of fall out. Right side adjusts. You might relax some tension in your face or your jaw. And then breath moves. Last breath or two here. Good. And then we'll come back to center. Take a moment in the center. You can kind of bend the knee, hug it into the chest if you like. Maybe make some circles with the knee. And then in a moment, we'll come into our twist. So we'll take the opposite hand to the knee. Okay, right hand to the knee, left arm out to the side, shoulder height-ish. And then we'll guide the knee over to the right, coming into the twist. And again, it doesn't come naturally here, but our practice is to relax and breathe. Right? Move the breath. It gives the mind something to do, but it also taps into nervous system. It really stops the fight or flight. It calms our stress responses, relaxes everything. Right? So last breath in your twist. And then you can come out of your twist. In a few moments for yourself, you might have your eyes closed, right? Take some organic or somatic movement, or just find stillness. Good, and then knees come into the chest, hands to your kneecaps. And we'll do some apanasanas just to come back to symmetry. So as you inhale, we just straighten the arms. Your knees move away a little bit. As you exhale, bend your elbows, knees come back into your chest. And maybe 3 more of these. As you breathe in, your knees move away. As you breathe out, the knees come back into the body. Okay, 2 more times, you might close your eyes. And stay nice and grounded in your spine and your back. Okay. Extra slow exhales. Excuse me. Good. Finishing with an exhale, and then you can rest your hands and feet down to the ground again and just take a moment there. Good. I want to come into our dynamic bridge poses. Just more so to open into the front of the hips also, but to bring awareness and alignment into spine. So feet are hip distance, so not too far, not too close. Hands at your sides. As you breathe in, we'll lift the hips up. Take the hands overhead so the backs of the hands touch the ground above you. With your exhale, hips and hands come down, but try to roll down 1 vertebrae at a time, starting at the top of the spine, contracting, lowering all the way down. Again, we'll breathe in as we lift up, so we stretch and open the front of the body. As you exhale, we have to actually contract the front of the body to kind of roll down. Right? We tilt the pelvis, tuck the tailbone, right, as you round down one vertebrae at a time. One more time like that. Deep inhale as you lift up. And then exhale, rolling and rounding down, nice and slowly, getting all the breath out as you come down. Good, and then once you're down, take maybe a cleansing breath there, in through your nose. Open the mouth as you exhale. Good, one more breath. And then we'll find our full happy baby pose. So knees come to the chest, and then out towards the armpits, the feet open towards the sky. Again, try to stay grounded in your spine, so not lifting and crunching up. And you can reach for your calves or ankles or maybe the outside of the feet. And you can be still, or you might rock a bit side to side. Okay, maybe 3 or 4 breaths in our happy baby pose. You can even play with bending and straightening in the legs, feeling how that stretches the hips and the hamstrings differently. Okay, getting breath is important, though. Let that be what your concentration and what your focus stays on. Right? The movement and stretch is even secondary. Good. So last breath in your happy baby pose. And then you can release, again, your feet. Allow the feet to come down to the sides. And just one breath there with your feet grounded, feeling the energy in your arms and your legs and your core. And then I want to finish with a banana pose. So we'll extend both legs out along the mat. Take both arms over our heads for a full body stretch here. And then we'll get into the side body by taking the legs over to the right. Right? So right leg moves over and then the left leg moves over towards it. And you may or may not adjust the upper body over to the right. But what we want is to stretch into the left side body here. Right? So you can relax again your feet, your arms, they might slide away. But as you breathe in, right, the breath will move in and stretch into the body. Stretch the ribs, maybe stretch the hip, maybe someplace else the shoulder. And as you exhale, the exhale is intentionally slower than your inhale. And maybe your Ujjayi breath comes back. Maybe there's a softening or relaxing somewhere within your body. Right? This happens consciously, intentionally. It doesn't happen naturally. Right? So last breath in on this side. And then you can move back through center. You might take a moment in the center. Right? And then when you're ready, we'll switch sides. So the legs will go over to the left first. And if you want, you can adjust the upper body to the left or not. Likely you contracted moving into your banana stretch, but then see if there's some place you can relax. Right? You might close your eyes and consciously breathe in and feel where the body may stretch a little bit more. And consciously breathe out, see how the body may relax a bit more. Good, and then whenever you're ready, you can come out of this. Right, a moment for yourself. We do want some sort of a forward fold variation before Shavasana, so you might tuck your knees into your chest, maybe find a little bit of movement. You're welcome to add in anything else before Shavasana you would like. And you might come to do a different inversion or a different twist or hip stretch or hamstring stretch, or maybe you've got something you're working on, so you're free to do that. Otherwise, you can come into your Shavasana whenever you are ready. And Shavasana is our final resting pose. I sit up so that we don't all fall asleep. But you lay down. Take your time. I'll sit up and give the Shavasana cues so you know what to do and where to go whenever you're ready. I don't take your time, but when you're ready, legs extend out along your mat a little wider than hip distance. Toes roll out, a little bit of external rotation of the legs. However, if you have lower back discomfort, please adjust, right? We don't want to be uncomfortable. So you can bend your knees, you can bring your knees together, you can slip a bolster or a blanket or a pillow or something underneath the knees to help kind of tilt the pelvis and alleviate the lower back discomfort there. Right? But otherwise, the arms come to the sides, a little bit of space between the arms and the ribs. And we have maybe an external rotation of the arms, possibly tucking the shoulder blades underneath the body a bit. So the heart and the chest and the shoulder collarbone space is open. And you allow gravity to kind of work, opening up this area. And then we close our eyes and we just allow the body to settle. Right? Make any adjustments that might make you more comfortable. Allow the breath to fall into its own rhythm. And we no longer alter the breath at all. We just allow it to do its own thing. You might scan the body again, looking for any areas of contraction, which are normal, right? We all hold this stress and fear and worry and past experiences and traumas and little things, big things within our bodies. Our bodies hold on to these things, and we don't realize it because we usually don't pay any attention to it. We feel an ache or a pain, but we don't know why. Right? As we kind of explore, we come in, we feel where we're contracted in our neck and our jaws, and realize, oh my gosh, this is where my headaches are coming from. This is where my neck pain is coming from. Right? We learn to check in and release the contraction, and then, with time, often some of our pains and aches go away. Right? So this practice of checking in and releasing the contraction from the jaw, from the forehead, from the neck, from the shoulders, from the heart space, and from the belly space, and even like the pelvic region. We hear this kind of contraction in our lower abdominals, and we just want that all to relax and kind of soften, and we just kind of melt into the mat. And our attention will continue to wander sometimes, and it'll go back into the mind and into thinking, and our thoughts will cause our bodies to contract again, and we'll stop breathing, and we'll be contracted again. Right? So our practice, when we find this happening, we just come back into relaxing. Right? We don't slow the breath we don't change the breath, but we do come back. We might just have to exhale and let it go. Right? Right? Have been contracted and holding it on. So as often as you wander back, come back. Right? Come back into relaxing. Come back into just being here, right? And resting in this amazing bodies that we have. Right? We use our bodies to kind of open up into the soul space. Right? So just keep coming back. Just one more moment where you are. And in this moment, we have everything we need. And the mind might go to the future and say, well, what about this? What about this? And it causes fear and contraction. We may go to the past, or remember this, remember that. But right now, we have everything we need. We're exactly where we were supposed to be. And just allow your body to feel this safety, this comfort, this relaxation, this peace, security. And you know that this practice of coming back keeps us grounded, keeps us balanced, keeps us steady. And so when you're ready, you can bring movements back into your body, wiggling into your fingers and your toes and your hands and your feet and your arms and your legs. Right? Take your time. Right? When you're ready, you can bend your knees and make your way to lie on either side in the fetal position. And just taking a moment on your side once you're there. and not rushing anything, and noticing how you feel, knowing that this practice of coming back is so healthy for our minds and our bodies, which work together. Right? So this practice of reining our attention back to body, right? It's so healthy for mind and body. So when you're ready, you can come up to seated. And bring your hands to your heart. You may close your eyes again and just thank yourself for your practice. Maybe set an intention to carry your practice with you. And I thank each of you for showing up and continuing your practice. Namaste. Yay.